Thanksgiving now in the rearview mirror, and all of the BPS high school teams knocked out of the state playoffs last week put a bookend on the 2016 Boston high school football season. Before we take a look at all of the Turkey Day action, let's turn back to last Tuesday, which provided us with a glimpse of Boston's high school football future at the BPS Middle School Football Championships. Let's head out to White Stadium. There you see Tech Boston Bears just barely missed the city playoffs, so they're facing Orenburger in the Township Championship. The first game of the night, first quarter, fourth down for Orenburger. They go with a double pass. It's Mejia to Jermaine Brown, 62-yard touchdown connection. Orenburger takes the early 6-0 lead, but it was all Tech Boston after that. Quarterback Sean Gomes over to Elizondo Tavares. That's good for 20 yards as Tech Boston gets inside the red zone. Then Tech Boston gives Orenburger a little taste of its own medicine. Jaquan Joseph with a halfback pass to Esau Jackson for the touchdown. Tech Boston would also get the two-point conversion, so they were up 8-6 at the half. We're going to fast forward now to the fourth quarter. Jaquan Joseph up the gut. He got all the way down to the 3. He led both teams with 85 rushing yards on the night. Then from the 3-yard line, it's Gomes getting it to Esau Jackson once again. Jackson with his second touchdown reception. Tech Boston goes on to win 14-6. They win the Township Championship, the first game of the night. Then it's the Lila G. Fredericks taking on the Edwards in the Middle School City Championship. Edwards runners-up last year, and they got it going early as Omar Kilter, the quarterback, on the keeper, 14-yard pickup for the Eagles. Then on the very next play with the Eagles at the 25, it's Juan Basby taking it to the outside and in for a 25-yard touchdown run as the Edwards Eagles go up 8-0 there in the first quarter. Fast forward to the second quarter now. And it's Edwards at the 30-yard line. Kevin Works off tackle. Gets the Eagles down to the 11-yard line, and the Eagles are in business once again. Then a couple plays later, from inside the 5-yard line, it's Works as he slithers in the end zone for the score. Edwards up 16-0 with 3.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Right now it's the Fredericks driving down the field. They get down to the 15, but it's Works ripping the ball out of the hands of Tashari Christian. Let's take a look at this one more time in the replay. Check out Works reaching for the football and just pulling it right away just before the half. That keeps the Fredericks off the board as Edwards goes on to win the city championship 16-0. The Edwards Eagles finally able to take home that city championship crown. Now, Thanksgiving morning football is always a special tradition here in New England, and there are certain players who rise to the occasion in these types of games. Here in the city, no need to look any further than the East Boston Jets running back Joel Pastrana, who went into Eastie's annual Turkey Day matchup with South Boston with 225 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns in 2 Thanksgiving games. To say that he continued his outstanding Thanksgiving Day play would be an understatement. Let's head back out to White Stadium for the annual Thanksgiving Day matchup between East Boston and South Boston. There you see Joel Pastrana, but it was his backfield mate Brandon Ortega getting it going early. He finds pay dirt from the 20, puts East Boston up 6-0 there in the early goings of the first quarter. Jets now up 14-0. Here comes Pastrana down the seam, 32-yard touchdown scamper for him. He puts the Jets up 22-0 there in the first quarter. Second quarter now, Jets at the 41, Pastrana with a huge seam down the left sideline. Another touchdown for him. That's touchdown number 3 on the day for Pastrana, but he was not done. Ensuing possession for East Boston, this time from their own 25-yard line. Pastrana leaves everybody in a cloud of dust. 75-yard touchdown run for Joel. 4th TD of the morning for him. Jets up 44-0 at the half. Fast forward to the third quarter. You got to be kidding me. Joel Pastrana again. This time he would not be denied, breaking a bunch of tackles on his way to the end zone. 55-yard touchdown run. 211 yards on the ground for Pastrana. 5 total touchdowns. That's 8 for his career as the Jets go on to win 59-12. There are the rest of the Thanksgiving scores from Thursday. Brighton edging out Latin Academy 28-20. Gerard Clark with a game-winning touchdown reception. Boston Latin taking down Boston English over at Harvard for the 130th edition of their Thanksgiving matchup. Griffin Lee with 3 touchdown passes to lead the Boston Latin Wolfpack. Meanwhile, Cathedral taking it to Tech Boston 46-14. Khalil Blair, who plays both running back and quarterback, 5 total touchdowns for him. Meanwhile, O'Brien hosting West Roxbury, they win 28-8. Kobe Smith, the quarterback, with a rushing touchdown and an interception return for a touchdown for the Tigers. New Mission takes down Jeremiah Burke 32-20. Marquise Rodriguez with 2 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown for the Titans. Just an amazing performance from the East Boston running back who ends his career on a high note in style there for the East Boston Jets. Folks, that's going to do it for sports this week. Be sure to come right back here next week because basketball season is just around the corner. We'll see you next time here on Boston Neighborhood Sports.